Hi, it's Amanda. We're back with another review. This is the for Bittersweet by Sarina Bowen. It is our buddy read book for this month, and Natasha will here tell you kind of a quick little synopsis about it, and then we'll get talking about the book.
So this story is about Griff and Audrey, and Griffin is kind of my new favorite burly man in plaid. He's kind of just, in her description, she calls him like the accidental patriarch of the family, but Griff is the caretaker of the family. And they run this amazing farm in Vermont, and he also makes these amazing ciders. So he kind of just has everything going for him right now in his world of farming, and especially in the organic world and eating clean. So he's going his normal day-to-day life, and Audrey, who is she's just, there's always some chaos going on with Audrey's life. The poor girl, every time she's thinking that she's finally she wants to inspire to be a chef, but she works for this company that's just, keeps giving her oddball jobs, and she's like, I just give me a knife so I can cut. That's my specialty. And she gets sent, gets sent away to Vermont to go find these farmers so that they can do the farm to fresh table scene in the Boston area. So she's driving to Vermont. She has a list of these farmers, and she's in her Prius. She's going along. Boom, she gets a flat tire. Of all the places she gets a flat tire was her college fling, Griffin Shipley. And they kind of just, I love how Sarina describes their chemistry. She goes, too bad their sexual chemistry is as hot as Audrey's top secret enchilada sauce and then some. And it's truly kind of how those two are. It's whenever these two kind of are at each other, because he doesn't want her in the farmers getting their farm to table stuff, because she's going to lowball them. And he's like, you can't do these to these farmers. And Audrey is like, but this is my job. What do you think? What is it really worth? And he kind of educates her. But as stuff goes on with the relationship, as you read, if you watch our buddy reads, you kind of find out that when there's chaos, if she has the chaos, he is her calming, and vice versa. And even the family says when she's around, he kind of just has this calming moment. And so there's so many peoples, and there's a lot of people in this book that just kind of bring everybody together. And it's just, I mean, don't you agree? Like, all these people kind of keep everybody together.
Yeah, there was a lot about family and things like that in this book, and it really did have a lot to, he was kind of keeping the farm and everything together, but he wasn't really bringing the family together, he was so focused on that. And then you have like his mom and his grandpa and his brothers and cousins and everybody that are helping with this. And it just really starts to, when his and Audrey's relationship kind of go together, it kind of, brings everybody together, because he's not this grouchy, grumpy guy that, he has been, because he's just so busy. He has so much on his plate and things like that, that he's just so focused all the time that he comes off as this really grumpy Griff. And I think her being there and calming him really had like a presence of bringing everybody together, bringing the family together. Everybody got closer. They just enjoyed, having him around, and he was happy. Kind of the best way to say it, he was happy. And seeing him happy really made the rest of the family happy. So it really had kind of a chain effect of making everybody else happy and bringing everybody else together. Family just plays a really big part in the book, and it was really great to see that. Even her family actually, plays a pretty significant role in the book, towards the end and that kind of stuff. So it just had those themes, and it was just really good. But then we start talking about Griff. And Griff is definitely top shelf book boyfriend material in this book. Like she said, he's the big bearded lumberjack, former football player, played in the NFL. He's just this big burly stud who does come off super grumpy and everything, but when you start to see him talk to Aubrey and do the thing, like the way he acts towards her and the way that he does things for her, it really makes him kind of stand out as I mean, it really makes him like a really great guy, and he's always trying to do the right thing for everyone, which also, it really makes him that great of a guy to do this kind of thing. What did you think of Griff?
Oh, I don't think we have enough time in the day to let me tell you what I think of Griff, but you know that. Griff is probably my top shelf guy just because uh, for me, and a lot of you don't know, but Amanda knows, growing up on a ranch and a farm, it was like reading home for me. It was a lot of it. Now, I didn't marry the farmer rancher dude. I married the businessman, but still, it was kind of cool to just he just is, he's awesome. And I liked how he thought outside of the box when he was trying to work for Audrey, like trying to like help her. Whenever she had this problem, he was like, let's talk it out. But then he did the grand gesture, and he did two grand gestures for me. And that was like a lot of the books you read, the grand gestures are pretty like they're huge and they're just these monumentous, but his grand gestures were just, they were life changing for Audrey, because one of them was when everything was happening, he goes and finds her an easy bake oven. And it's because he sat there and listened to her describe, like when she got into the cooking thing, it was her grandma and it was everything she liked. And he found it and he bought it for her. And then the second grand gesture was everything was not going good with their farm. You know, this farm to fresh table. He thought he had a contract. He lost the contract, and she was fighting for him on it. And he had some animosity toward her because he just didn't know if it was her that caused it. But after talking to his mom kind of said it all. And if you watch our buddy reads, we kind of go into it. So I really recommend you guys read our buddy or watch our buddy reads. But he even told her, you want to stay here in Boston? Do you want to go do your pitch, or do you want to come to Vermont and you want to be here with me? I'll take you. I'll drive you. And that right there, for him to put her first, you see that in a few authors will do that, but not a lot of authors. And I really appreciate that he did that. It was more humanized for me. It was more realistic. And so that's kind of, Griff is definitely my plaid wearing lumberjack man that I really enjoy. And he makes cider beer. Come on. It's time for that. I love it.
One of my favorite Griff moments has to be where he's like, he usually has no words, he just kind of grunts and growls and doesn't really talk to anybody. And he goes around every single person he says, I like her. Every single person. Just no thought, no whatever. He just tells every single person he comes along with, I like her. Like, that is just such a great moment. And then the thing that I like most about the book overall is that it is so relatable. Like, you read in some of these books and the grand gesture is he flies her to some island and they spend a week on the beach or whatever. Well, that's just like blowing the moment. You can never top that again. So Griff's and everything about the story was really relatable. It was really like you could really know these people, and we really appreciate that in a lot of books. I mean, we talk about it in quite a few of these reviews that we really like the books that are more, they don't have the big opulence or, the billionaires or things like that. They're real people, and they're real things that you could go down to the farmer's market and you could see a Griff down there and selling his cider, and we really enjoy that aspect of it. We really enjoy books that have that, but this book really had it because not only did it have like their relatable professions, she's a cook, she's working in the grunt work in the kitchens, which I've been there, done that. It's pretty unglamorous, pretty much like it's described in the book. And then you also have all these farmers and you have all these things and the farm to table and all that kind of stuff. And it's really interesting for us, with the food and the cider and things like that. But then you have these careers and the things that these people do and the way that they interact with their families. Family was really important to you. And it really resonates in this book. I think that's why we have to thank Kate Canterbury for recommending this book to us, because it was a great book. I really, really, really enjoyed reading it. I hope you check out the Buddy Reads, because we definitely gush about the book quite a lot. We really enjoyed it, and we really liked the sections, how we broke it down, and all the different things in the book. We talk more about the other players. There's Jude, who comes to work on the farm. He's had kind of a rough past, and they help him out, and he really turns into an upstanding guy that everybody likes. And he has the second book, and then Zach, who is one of their friends that also works on the farm, stays in the bunkhouse with Griff and things like that. But it's really sweet because he kind of blushes and kind of freaks out and runs away. Anytime anybody talks about sex or anything, it's really funny the way that he acts. But his book is actually going to be the third book, and we're really excited for that one to come out. So check out the books. The links and the descriptions, everything are going to be in the description. Our other buddy reads, the links will be in the video as well. We hope you check those out because it's really a lot more in depth about this book. And how much we loved it, how much we loved Griff, how much we loved some of the moments that Griff had. And then we will be back next week with another review. I hope you like us and subscribe, and hopefully we'll have some pretty cool things coming up soon. Bye.